Hey YouTube, welcome back after 2 long years. It's Kal-El Soups 808, aka Brandon Reeve on Facebook. In 2 whole years since I've done a video review. The last video review I did was the Balrog from Pop Culture Shock Street Fighter, and I did a life-size Michael Myers video 2 whole years ago. So I decided that this was the piece. I've just got this thing in. The Venom Premier Collection resin statue from Diamond Select Toys. This was worth revisiting videos for, so stay tuned. Here's more about this guy. Now, first of all, we'll start with the box, like we always do. Really impressive box, but I've got it here next to my Terminator 1:1 T800 bust there, and that is a quarter scale Entebbe figure from Terminator 2 there. That's like 18 inches tall, true quarter scale, and that's how big the box is. Now that is absolutely ginormous. I just put it earlier next to my Punisher Comiquette box, and it dwarfs it. It's absolutely massive. You would think it was a quarter scale statue just with the size of the box. So I'll show you the box in a bit more detail now. And there's proof for my wife there. It's an adult collectible, not a toy, not a doll. These things are collectibles. So this is limited to 3,000 pieces. Like I say, it's Diamond Select. It's a resin statue, and it's sculpted by Alejandro Pereira. Now he's a relatively well-known sculptor, this guy. He did the XM Venom, which I'm pretty sure you all know how that turned out. It was awesome. To be honest, I'm not sure that I like that XM Venom any more than this though. This is quite a bit smaller, but it's the storytelling that goes on with the piece is fantastic, and I just love the sculpt. So that's the front of the box. This is the side, just a big picture of the statue from a different angle there. And then the back of the box, got that same picture again, and it's got like a little story about Venom and the symbiote here. If you want to read that in greater detail, just pause it. And it says approximately 12 inch there, but I've measured it from the base to the top of the head, and it's around 13. It's huge, this thing. Okay, and then there's the other side of the box, same as the other side, very basic, and then the top of the box. And then on the bottom, as you would expect, it has the edition number there. So mine is number 34 of 3000. And here he is in all his glory. I just love the storytelling that goes on with this thing. He's smashing out of a glass containment capsule, and you can tell it's the Eddie Brock version of Venom. I wasn't keen on Matt Gargan as Venom, didn't like Flash Thompson as much as Venom. Those Agent Venom stories are alright, but there's only one Venom for me, and that's Eddie Brock. So what I love about this that's a bit different to the XM version is I believe this is raised here, this spider. I think on the XM I don't like the spider as much. It's very, very thin, and it's kind of embedded into the suit, I think, whereas this is kind of raised over the top of it. I love that face and those eyes. You don't get any switch out parts to this. This just comes in 2 parts. So it's the statue and then the base. Just let you see the details on those teeth there and the tongue. It's absolutely gorgeous. That's just a perfect representation of Venom for me. Don't know if the camera gets it, but there's like some slight discoloration in the eyes there around the outside. That's deliberate, just so it's not all just perfect white. And my wife pointed out something to me the other day, and I've looked at it in different lights, and she's right. In some lights it appears like a very matte black, the suit, but he's got like a lot of these like blue veiny parts here. So there's little hints of blue, and then in some lights it looks very blue. In some lights it looks very black. And like I said, in some lights it looks matte, and then some it looks kind of oily, like tar. And yeah, it's just awesome. Like those muscle striations, this guy is just ripped up. And that to me is how I want to see Venom. So he's got his dirty claws there, they're painted with a bit of a gloss. Just fantastic. I love the detail, like the little bits of black wash there, the shading on his tongue. And then the capsule itself here, it's like a clear resin. It looks like glass, but it's not. But it's got like that blue tinge to make it look like glass. And then this capsule base, it's like, looks like a metal grate. So that's how it would have filled with the containment fluid and then drained through the grate. And then this ooze, this kind of containment fluid all coming out here. That's it's got kind of a matte looking paint, but it's got like flecks in it. So it looks like there's bubbles in it, which is like really well done. And then the kind of silvery metallic look to the capsule. And this is the version of Venom with the toenails, which I personally really like. They look like grimy, horrible toenails. He's an absolute brute of a piece. He looks fantastic. You can see those back toenails there with that leg bent, and a massive calf just bursting out of his leg there. Excellent sculpting around the hamstrings, glutes, traps. This guy is just gigantic. And he's just, it tells a story. He's broken free from the capsule and he's just screaming in anger, exultation, whatever it is. But he is just monstrous. So I measured this, and it's around 13 inches tall and about 13.5 to 14 inches in depth. So that's from like the furthest part there of the goo, so all the way to the back. And then it's about 11 to 12 inches wide that way across. So just for your references there. So as any kind of comic book or Spider-Man fan will know, the whole Venom thing, the symbiote got ripped from Matt Gargan, who was the Scorpion. He ended up bonding with the symbiote. Government took it off him. They ended up rebonding it with Flash Thompson, who, if you remember from the Spider-Man comics, was kind of a school bully of Peter Parker, but also like a massive fan of Spider-Man. And he ended up losing his legs in combat and becoming Agent Venom. They bonded him with the symbiote, but they could only, they did that in order to undergo like secret missions for the government. But he could only bond with it for like 48 hours, and then at the end of the mission, it would separate with the alien, and it would be stored in like a glass capsule like this. And this represents the statue, the symbiote breaking free, and obviously rebonding with Eddie Brock. Something kind of similar happened in Rebirth 2.0, where Spider-Man, I guess, tricked the alien into making it think it wanted to bond with it. But he trapped it in this containment capsule. Anyway, it later breaks out, gets free, and rebonds with Eddie Brock. So I think this is representing that. But yeah, I absolutely love this statue. And just to show you guys, I've got it here, just for size comparison, next to the Randy Bowen symbiote Spider-Man. This was my first ever piece. This was what kicked it all off. And my first ever full-bodied statue, that is. I had a couple of other mini busts. That's what I started collecting, but this, I would consider this to be the thing that started it for me. So the Randy Bowen piece is seen, well, it's advertised as 13 inches overall height, and you can see there Venom is as tall, if not a smidge taller. So he's definitely bigger than the 12 inches that it says on the box. Unless they were referring to just the statue itself and not the base, I don't know. And then I have it here next to the Dynamic Forces Venom vs Spidey Dio. This was another one of my earliest pieces, and this is actually number 2 in the line, so I did pretty well there. So there you go for size comparison. My one very small nitpick with this piece is the Venom logo. I like it. I like the fact that it's raised over the costume there, and it's big and it's thick. But I just wish it had been a bit sharper here, like on the Dynamic Forces. Like, see how the edges are nice and sharp, the points, and cleaner looking. I really like that cleaner look on Venom for the symbol. So that to me is just perfect. So I would have liked for it to have been a bit sharper and crisper, but still, it's still an amazing looking statue. It's a very, very small nitpick, and it's just a personal preference thing. So there you have it, guys. I'll just wrap it up by saying I apologise for the long hiatus there. 2 years without doing a video. I have had a lot going on. I moved out of my apartment. You can see there's a different backdrop here. And now I've got a bigger house, so I can finally, hopefully one day, have my man cave that everything gets displayed in when I get my basement developed. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. If you like this video, feel free to press like, subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to add comments. And I'll hopefully see you guys soon. Take care.